Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are you all today?
We are fine. How about you?
I'm good, thank you.
Jawab
First of all, I would like to say thanks for the time that given to our team to present our material. But before we come to the presentation session, let us to introduce ourselves. My name is Johanna Grestin Chahokilo. I'm the moderator.
My name is Fitriana Delifanabu. I am a first speaker.
My name is Maria Patricia Seu. I am the second speaker.
My name is Presanti Polan. I am the last speaker.
Okay, I think that's all about our introduction session. We are come to the presentation session. For the first speaker, time is yours.
Thank you. To me. So you can see on the slide, our topic today is language variation and change. Language variation and change. This is the key concept in social linguistics. So why I say language variation and change is the key concept in social linguistics? Because language variation, it shows how language is connected to society. People speak differently based on their region, social class, age, and situation, and over time. This difference can lead and change in the language. So, by studying variation and change, sociolinguistics understand how social factors influence language. So, this one, yes. Observing language change in progress. The first is traditional view. So, traditionally, linguists like Schasser and Blupfeil believe that language change could only be observed after it had already happened. This means they focus on the consequences of change rather than the change itself. However, the modern view has shifted. Today, we understand that variation in how people speak can actually show us language change as it's happening. This variation is often influenced by social factors such as age, gender, and identity. Next one. This is the type of language change. The first is internally motivated. Language change can be motivated internally or externally. Internally motivated change come from with the language itself. This includes things like phonemic closings, when two sounds merge, or phonemic splits, where one sound becomes two. We also see change in morphology, like how words are formed, and syntax or sentence structure. Externally, the second is externally motivated. Externally motivated change happen because of outside influence, especially language content. For example, English has borrowed words like pajamas from Hindi, tea from Chinese, and kangaroo from an Aborigine Australian language. Next one is internal versus external change interactions. Sometimes internal and external change interact. A good example is the phrase "attract calm" in Canadian French. This expression has been influenced by the English phrase "be like," as in "she was like" or "wow." This kind of subtle change often happens in bilingual community where the language in contact can shape each other over time. Next one. Cultural attitudes towards borrowing. The first is English accept loan words to by friends received due to creativity movement. Different cultures have different attitudes towards borrowing words. English tends to be very open to borrowing vocabulary from other. Oh, sorry. English tends to be very open to borrowing vocabulary from other languages. In contrast, French often resist borrowing in an effort to protect the purity of the language. Political and cultural contexts also play a big role. For example, Hindi and Urdu are very similar linguistically, but they borrow from different sources due to cultural and political influences. Next one. Speaker influence and tense. The first is factor. The factor is gender, age, and identity. Speakers themselves influence how language changes. Social factors like gender, age, and identity all play a role. Younger people often lead language change, and different gender may use new forms in different ways. One concept here is age grading, which refers to how individuals might change their speech over their lifetime. For example, using more slang when they're younger and speaking more formally as they age. And finally, thanks to variation studies, we know that it's possible to observe language change in real time as it happens in communities. So I think enough for me.
And next, language change in progress, NCPS. NCPS affects Detroit, not Windsor or Cincinnati. Social networks and migration set patterns, and young women and African Americans use change for mobility, maintain home careers. CPS affects regions like Detroit, but not nearby areas like Windsor or Cincinnati due to social network and migration patterns. Social groups, especially young women and African Americans, selectively adapt language change for social mobility while maintaining home language variation. And the next sound change in Wilweki, for example, back sounding like back, shows age and gender patterns. Younger speakers shift more with other women leading change. Physical definition of change follows the graffiti model. Language urban centers influence smaller ones, and physical barriers like rivers or national borders can cause change. For example, G versus Z in Canada. Some speak patterns are not long-term change but age grading, where language use reflect a group norms like the slang heavy style of Japanese calls, which contains traditional gender roles but may not persist in adulthood. Next, Yelp language and age grading. Slang shows identity. The second, slang may fade or persist. And the next, tested visual real-time panel and Yolk slang often signals identity and group belonging. Terms like lead or slave are seen as age-specific. If parents or professor use them, it may feel awkward. If friends don't use them, the slang might feel outdated. Whether slang persists depends on whether it's language sense. Two methods to test this. The real-time pattern study tracks some people over time. Real-time trend study. Compare some age groups across generations. Final study. The, the third level novel centralization reflects local identity. Fisherman rejected tourist influence, and the next later studies trade declined as tourism grew. And the last, gender and language change. Women lead change to standard when to vernacular. Drag yield, women overboard, standard, men underboard. Social speak aligns with social roles. Critics and social constructs. From May 2003, gender and class are natural, very social construct. The second, our identity, friendship, education, and even stereotypes or stigma all shape the way we speak. The last, so language reflects social identity. The next one, process of language change. Labov combined apparent time and real-time studies. Change from above, conscious standard language use, often led by women, and change from below, unconscious local ways of speaking, often led by men. Philadelphia and social networks. Labov found forward change in Philadelphia led by upper working class women. Milroy's weak tie spread change and strong tie resist. And the last, change from middle of class structure. Modern trends and mobility. Mobility weakens networks spread change faster, and younger women often lead innovation. People move around more now, so social networks are weaker, and this allows language change to spread faster, and young women often lead new trends in language. Next. Lifestyle and identity or in Detroit, Edgar started high school. Lifestyle and identity or Edgar. In Detroit, Ecker studied high school. Job school focus follow standard speech and burnouts, rebellious use local informal speech, and the last, this show how language reflect your group lifestyle and identity. Okay, the last, lexical diversion and Leboeuf view. The first, lexical diffusion. Sound change happens slowly, word by word, as curve pattern. The second, Leboeuf thinks is less important than long-term trends. The third, he believes change happens in two ways. And the last, transmission passed to kids and diffusion spread between adults.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's all about our presentation season. And now we are coming to the next season. It is question and answer. If you have any question, please raise your hand.
Okay, thanks for the time giving to me.
So the last.
So my question is, how do social factors, especially age, influence language variation in community?
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, please.
Okay, I will answer to you. What is the difference between internally and externally motivated language change? Give examples of this.
Okay, thank you so much, Diva. Any other question? I give you 2 minutes to prepare your question. Okay, if you don't have any question, please give us 10 minutes to prepare the question. If you don't have any question, please give us 10 minutes to prepare the answer. Okay, now we are going to answer your question. The prompt is question from Sandra.
So now I want to explain to you how do social factors, especially age, influence language variation in a community. So to do social factor, especially age, influence language variation in a community, the step one is different age, different way of speaking. Young people use more slang and new words. This is the new words. Two, the language changes with time. The way young people speak today may become normal in the future. And three, trends create new style. Teenagers often start new trends in how people speak. And fourth, adults keep language stable. Adults prefer using the way they already learned. And the last is older people keep old styles. People still use word and grammar from the past. Itu for older people. For a simple example-nya, young people say, I'm like so tired. I'm like so tired. Older people say, I'm very tired. Okay, I think enough.
Okay, thank you, Diva. Is this clear or not? Okay, thank you. Okay, next we will answer the question from Diva.
Okay, so now I wanna explain to Diva the difference between internally and externally motivated language change, and I wanna give the example. So, internally motivated language change happen inside the language. It's when people change how they speak to make it easier or simple. For example, night used to be pronounced with a ki atau k. Sound now it's not. Itu di contoh simpelnya. And next, externally motivated language change happens because of outside influence like contact with other language or social media. For example, English borrow the words ballet from French. So, you see?
Okay, is it clear or not? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I think it's enough for our presentation today, and thank you so much for your participation. Have a nice day.